Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into a question that is frankly at the heart of everything we do when we build products. How do you make something that people don't just tolerate or find usable, but that they truly, deeply want? Let's get into it.
Okay, let's be real for a second. Have you ever poured weeks, maybe even months of your life into a new feature? You build it, you ship it, and crickets. Nothing. It is one of the most painful feelings in product development, and you know what? It happens all the time. But the real question is, why?
Our first instinct is to think, oh, the design must have been confusing or the UX was clunky. But here's the hard truth. Most of the time, the problem isn't the execution at all. The real issue, the one that absolutely sinks products, is a bad strategy. It's building a perfect, beautiful, easy-to-use solution to a problem that nobody actually has. And that leads us to this incredibly common and, frankly, super expensive failure, the usable, unwanted product. You know the type. It's the feature that would score a 10 out of 10 in a usability lab, but gets a big fat 0 in real-world adoption. Why? Because it completely missed the point of what the user actually needed.
So when that launch flops, what's the knee-jerk reaction? It's almost always, we need better usability testing. Our process was flawed. And that's when teams run out and grab amazing tools like Maze because they think the answer lies in just polishing the user interface a little more. But that's a total misdiagnosis of the real problem.
So, this brings us to the tools of the trade. On one side, you've got a powerhouse like Maze, which is all about prototyping and usability testing. And on the other, you've got Atypica, a platform that's laser-focused on user research and validating demand. Now, they might look like they play in the same sandbox, but they are built for fundamentally different jobs.
And right here, this is where it all clicks into place. See, Maze is brilliant at answering the question, is this thing we built easy for people to use? It's all about the how. But Atypica is asking a much earlier and way more important question. Why would anyone even need this in the first place? It's all about the why.
So let's just quickly break this down. With Maze, you're using things like prototype testing and heat maps. It's great for optimizing a design you've already committed to, and you get those insights in a few days. Perfect for fine-tuning. But with Atypica, you're using AI to run these deep conversational interviews to actually validate demand. The goal isn't to optimize, it's to get strategic insights, fast, often in less than 20 minutes. It helps you decide if you should even bother designing anything at all.
Okay, enough with the theory, let's make this super concrete. I'm going to walk you through a real-world scenario that shows just how massive the difference is between asking why somebody needs something versus just asking how they use a prototype.
So picture a product team, right? They've got 3 different ideas for a new feature. They follow the playbook we all know, spend a week or so building out 3 different prototypes. Then, they put them into usability tests to see which one is the easiest to use. And logically, they decide, hey, let's build the winner.
And boom, the data comes back looking absolutely crystal clear. Feature C has a 90% task completion rate. It's a total rock star. The others aren't even in the same league. Based on this data, the decision is a complete no-brainer. We're building Feature C. Let's go.
But hold on a second. Buried in the feedback from that winning test for Feature C, a user drops this little comment. The feature, by the way, is a data export tool, and the user just casually mentions they almost never export data. They could use the feature perfectly, sure, but they had literally no reason to ever click that button in real life.
And there it is. That's the moment. The team built something that was perfectly usable and completely unwanted. They brilliantly optimized the execution of a totally flawed strategy. And I'm telling you, this is, without a doubt, the single most expensive mistake any product team can make.
This brings us to the concept the team totally missed: demand validation. This is the why. It's the critical step of making sure a real, urgent, painful need actually exists in the wild before you even think about designing a solution. It's the only way to answer the one question that matters. Will people actually use this thing? So let's rewind the clock. Let's run that same scenario again, but this time with an Atypica first strategy, one that starts with demand. And you'll see how it completely flips the outcome on its head.
So first, let's just recap that old broken workflow. You're looking at 2 weeks just to design prototypes, another week to test them, and only then do you make a decision. After that, you've got 2 whole months of engineering time building the thing you hope is right, finally launching at the end of the quarter.
And what you get for all that effort? A truly dismal 15% adoption rate. All that time, all that money, for a feature that just lands with a thud. It's the classic usable but unwanted product. Now check this out, the Atypica first approach. On day one, the team validates the demand for all three ideas. It takes just a few hours. The results show that feature A is a must-have, while B and C are just kind of nice-to-haves. So what do? They pour all their energy into designing just one prototype, test its usability to make it great, and then build it.
And the result of that? A 68% adoption rate. They didn't just meet their targets, they blew them out of the water. Just by validating the direction before they invested a single second in design, they basically guaranteed they were building something people were desperate for.
Okay, so how do you actually put this into practice? Look, the goal here isn't to tell you to stop doing usability testing. The goal is to build a new, much smarter workflow that brings together both strategy and execution, so you get the biggest possible impact.
And here it is. The optimal workflow is this beautiful, simple loop. Step 1. Use Atypica to figure out what to build. Step 2. Design a prototype for that validated need. Step 3. Use a tool like Maze to make sure it's easy and delightful to use. Step 4. Build the thing with total confidence. Then you just repeat. This simple sequence makes it almost impossible to ever again build a beautiful feature that nobody actually wants.
So, if you remember one thing from this, let it be this. Maze is for execution. Atypica is for strategy. And since all the data shows that about 90% of product failures come from building the wrong thing, not from building it poorly, you have got to validate your strategy before you even start thinking about optimizing the execution.
And I'll leave you with a question to chew on. As you think about your own team and your own projects, ask yourself, are you spending most of your time busy optimizing the details of something you've already decided to build? Or are you spending your time making damn sure you're pointed in the right direction in the first place? The answer to that question could really be the difference between a flop and a runaway success.